So, the Moose has a history of letting people who have never done this before do this here. Coming up next is somebody who fits that very description. Put it together for Kelly. Kelly Griffin, everybody.
This is correct. I have never done this shit before. Yeah. I'm almost sad that he said my name because I'm Cuban and Spanish. My birth name is Molina, but I'm adopted, and so my name now is Glenn Kelly Griffin. It's literally the most Irish fucking name you could ever have. I'm like, would you be eating any potatoes today? Oh, I almost feel obligated every once in a while to go. Because that's what old Irish guys do, I think. So, do you guys remember your first curse word? Yes. How old were you when you fucking decided it was okay to curse? What was your first curse word? Shit. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to tell a story because I think that's what we're supposed to do here tonight, right? So, when I was in the 6th grade, I hope not, it's empty. So, yeah, I killed that bitch before I even got up here. When I was in the 6th grade, I befriended a huge kid, one of those kids that was way bigger than everybody else and had way more, like he could grow a beard in the 6th grade and shit. You remember those guys? Yeah, so I befriended one of those guys. His name was Dana. And so he got picked on all the time because he was super huge, super hairy, but he was really passive. He was a super sweet guy. And so I gravitated to him because he got picked on all the time, and it pissed me off. And so one day in the 6th grade, we were walking home together, and one of the smaller kids came up to bully him, which they always did because they felt it was okay to do because he wouldn't fight back. And Dana decided that day in the 6th grade that he's gonna, because all the 6th grade fights, you just roll up on, grab each other and stretch their necks out and shit. You know, it's not a real fight. Dana pushed him off of him and he said, a bip, and he dinged him right in the bridge of the nose and literally just spun. He didn't know what to do. And then before I could say anything, Dana went, dit, and hit him 2 more times and put his ass down on the ground. And then he looked at me and he said, was that okay? And so I'm in the 6th grade and I'm like, I felt like I can cuss now. Because he hit him with 3 straight rights, I can fucking cuss now. And this is what I said. You're damn yes, mother shitter. Yeah. And so I'm way better at cussing now. I'm just going to throw that out there. And so you're damn yes, I'll let you guys break that down yourself. That doesn't even fucking make sense, right? But I said mother, and then I was like, you're not old enough to say fuck yet. And so shitter came out instead.
Good cover.
You're damn yes, mother shitter, my first cuss words. And so that's nostalgic, right? Okay, so I've been married twice. None of them ever took. I'm engaged now. I've been engaged for a long time. I outkicked my coverage. I'll just put it that way. Her name is Jennifer. She actually wanted to come tonight, but she had to stay home because our doggy is sick. But she's watching us stream right now. And Jennifer has a joke, and I've completely changed my setup tonight because she couldn't come tonight. And I'm going to tell Jennifer's joke to you guys tonight because she couldn't come. So Jennifer works in healthcare. She's a clinical dietitian, and she helps people with dialysis. She's done lots of things. She worked in a NICU, took care of sick babies, something I could never fucking do myself. So God bless anybody who can do shit like that. So this is Jennifer's joke. There's these 2 old people in a retirement home. They're single. They're drinking mimosas. They're getting loose. They're dancing. Things are happening and they're feeling a little frisky. And this 78-year-old man decides this 75-year-old girl's looking pretty good. And so he macks on her a little bit, and they decide they're going to go back to his place and do it. So she gyrates in front of him a little bit. She takes off her shirt, takes off her bra, and she looks at him and says, I just want you to know I have acute angina. And he said, holy shit, I hope so, because your titties are pretty fucking nasty. That's Jennifer's joke, y'all. What do I got here? Are you flashing at me already? 1 minute. All right. Well, I'm going to end with my granddad's joke, okay? My granddad was a piece of shit. He was an alcoholic, wife-beating, asshole motherfucker. But let me just say, he had one fucking redeeming quality, and that motherfucker could tell a joke. And this is it, okay? And this is what I consider the greatest joke ever told. There's these construction workers working in Africa, right? They're in the jungle. They're putting up a fucking high-rise building, right? And so this construction worker, he's like putting the rivets in, and all of a sudden he slips. He's got a tool belt on. He slides down this girder, and he's sliding hard. His tool belt catches, and holy shit, the worst thing that could ever happen happened. His dick got ripped off. And so he's laying there on the ground. His co-workers are standing around him. They're like, what do we do? He's laying there. His dick's over here. What are we going to do? We got to get him to a doctor. Well, the closest doctor was a witch doctor. Imagine that. It's Africa. So they go in. They get this witch doctor. He comes out. He looks at the situation. He takes some powder, and he takes it, and he pours it on the orifice where the guy's dick used to be. He goes back into the jungle, and he comes back out, and he leads this baby elephant out with a rope. He says some words to the baby elephant, and he lops its trunk off with a fucking machete. He sticks it where the guy's dick used to be, sprinkles some more powder around it, does a little dance, says some words, and all of a sudden the guy's like, it's fucking attached. This fucking works. It's a baby elephant trunk where my dick used to be, but there's no scar tissue. Everything's healed and everything's cool, right? And so he goes home to his wife, and he's about to tell her about what happened, this horrible thing that happened, but how it all worked out. And before he can say anything, she puts a bowl of biscuits down on the table, and this elephant trunk comes up over the table, and it grabs a biscuit, and it goes back under the table, just like that. And his wife is like, what in the fuck is that? Holy shit. And he explains to her what happens, and she starts getting excited, and she's like, really? Really? You can do that on purpose? And he's like, I think so. And then fucking another trunk comes up, grabs a biscuit, goes under the table. And she's like, woo, do that shit again, do it again, do it. And it becomes this party. He's like grabbing biscuits and grabbing biscuits and going on the table. And finally you get to the last biscuit, and the trunk comes up, and it grabs it, and it goes under the table. And he goes, honey, you're going to have to take me back to the witch doctor. And she says, but why? And he says, somebody's got to get these biscuits out of my ass. Thank you guys for indulging me. This was so much fun. Appreciate it.
Kelly Griffin, everybody. Great job. Great first time.